Hey guys, so it's early Sunday morning. I just woke up, but I heard the OCG ban list came out, and so I never really react to OCG ban list. But at the same time, we've been really craving our own ban list, and maybe this still paints a similar picture. Not usually a little bit, but for the most part, they are completely different formats. But it's still interesting nonetheless. So essentially, I just wanted to kind of get a sense of the OCG meta as well, because I'm obviously not well versed in it. And if you are, certainly let me know what your thoughts are on this ban list. But you know what? For them, Fire King, Snake Eye, that is still like the best deck. Of course, they do have something new in Tenpai Dragon that we do not have at the moment. But you see the Fire King, Snake Eye, as well as Voiceless Voice being the top three, and that is actually still the case for us as well. And of course, they actually still have Branded, which is kind of funny because they have so many hits on that deck over there, like Branded Fusion. I think even like Oluber or Branded Opening, or maybe even both. Like it's like crazy over there. But anyways, in terms of the ban list itself, so it looks like that there were actually no bans for their ban list, which is kind of interesting. That's never really fun and interesting for us. I hope that's not the case. We do have some pretty problematic cards, right? Especially something like like Sanctifier is kind of the number one thing. I'm not sure if the Gimmick Puppet thing is still going on there. Again, Branded is hit quite a lot over there. But in terms of limit title, I think this is going to be the same for us as well. The Dragon Rulers have been slowly coming back one by one. This is probably going to be for sure coming back. There can be only one that's already limited for us, so that at least again sometimes they are kind of similar in terms of the list. Wanted being at 1, that's kind of interesting. I think that is something a lot of people have been predicting. Maybe it goes to 2 for now for us. Just keeping in mind that OCG, they are a few months ahead of us, so really they have. If they're hitting this at 1, it doesn't necessarily mean we will do it right away as well. Maybe eventually this kind of paints a picture for the future, but you know what? I don't think it's that unreasonable to say it might get hit to 1 as well for us. Ib to coming to 2, this is another one that might be realistic for us. They might just, I kind of put it as like 3, I think, in my prediction, or at least I meant to. This recently came to 1. I was a little bit worried when it came to 1 for us, but it didn't end up doing anything, so it can probably just come back to 3 and no one would really do anything. SP to 2 is like kind of like the most OCG thing to do. I don't know how much it was played there. I mean, at best, I would have said, put it to 1, but even nowadays, they only play 1 anyways. Like back when Rescue Ace was first, just like the tier 1 deck before we had all the Snake Eye stuff, they were playing SP at 2, and it was actually coming up a lot at that point. Yes, putting it to 1 would have made sense, but nowadays, like, everyone's playing 1. Again, if you do make some other hits, maybe it's warranted. Kieran to 2 and Snake Eye Ash to 2. That's interesting because I was more so focused on the Snake Eye Ash part. I was hoping this would just go straight to 1. At least for us. This is obviously OCG. I mean, I don't know. They really like their semi-limited list. Whereas TCG, I feel like they're always trying to make it as small as possible, except for kind of like the recent list. But at least they are hitting Ash, I guess. But, I think that's an obvious hit. Kieran is interesting too. It does make it so, they can like dodge like imperm stuff or whatever. Just quick effect pop. I personally thought, though, the Fire King part wasn't that much of an issue. I think it was just more so the Snake Eye part. But you know what? At least they're hitting both. This one, Kaiser Coliseum, this is banned in the TCG. We don't even have to worry about that. This is one of those kind of like floodgate-ish kind of things. Extravagance to 2. I don't know if it was at 1 already or if it was at 3 before. I should have checked that before. But yeah, I mean, I guess they really don't like pot cards. They didn't even hit Prosperity, did they? Or maybe they already did. I can't remember anymore. Now, this is the most interesting one. Summon Sorc. It had an errata. I actually thought, because I know the errata was posted a few days ago, actually. I thought that was fake. So basically, I have someone on Zodiac had put a translation, so I kind of just screenshotted it. But the difference is, okay, so let's just read it. If this card's link summon, you can special summon a monster from your hand to your opponent's zone that this card points to, and then its effects negated, and you can special summon 1 monster from the deck with the same type as that monster that you summoned, or with its effect negated. And then for the rest of your turn, you can only special summon monster with the original type. So the rata part is the fact that this part did not exist before in terms of you can only special summon monsters with that original type, which realistically might not matter for a lot of decks when you're usually like the same type anyways, when you're kind of like an archetype based deck. The other errata, if this was translated properly, is the fact that this entire thing is now 1 effect. It used to be 2 separate effects. You would special it, and then you can like target and special that, right? But now you can actually Ash the entire thing, so you can't even like, you used to be able to like, I guess, special summon to your opponent's monster or opponent's field first. So I guess those are the erratas. I was hoping they would just not errata sound sorry, because that thing was incredibly strong. That actually was around just when I started playing the game, and yeah, And then Gearsu, so that's kind of interesting. This is all to 3. This was, yeah, they had a lot of pendulum hits over there. This has never been hit in our side, I don't believe. I mean, it might come back like in terms of play sometimes because it's like a free body, but really not too much Infernity stuff. You know, that's kind of funny they hit the adventure stuff in the past. We never ended up doing it, even though I remember when we were doing balance predictions, like we really wanted this hit like right away. And nowadays, you know, you're not really seeing adventure much. Change of Heart, this is another card I think for us as well. Maybe they start with like 2 for TCG in terms of coming back, but you know what? This has been peeled off at 1. Initially, it's a little bit of side deck play, but realistically, it does not see that much play as you would have seen in my YCS top cut breakdown. So I guess that's it for this OCG list. You know, I think at least they hit a lot of cards, but it was, you know, not having any kind of forbidden section. Obviously, I don't know what the meta is. I'm not sure what they were hoping for. Maxi is still clearly legal over there. So, you know, let me know what your thoughts are on this OCG ban list and how it might be paint the picture for us in the TCG in terms of at least the Snake Eye stuff. They were kind of mild, I feel like, almost in terms of just this being to 2. Again, I'm not too familiar with like already the existing OCG hits, but at the same time, I'm hoping we can be a little bit more strict, especially if we have to wait a little bit longer now for our ban list. But anyways, that was it for this OCG ban list discussion. Again, let me know in the comments what your thoughts are and what you hope for the TCG.